From Delaware's most award-winning radio news team, this is WDEL Video News. Here's Chris Carl.
Among Delaware's top stories for Friday, June 22nd, a new plan to try to fight crime in Wilmington, trying to close a loophole in state law, and dinosaurs coming to our area. Here are the details. A Wilmington lawmaker says he has a plan he hopes will curtail the increase in shootings and other crimes in a section of the city. WDEL's Curtis Gray reports.
If the new plan gets support, your kids in these neighborhoods will be off the streets by 9 p.m. weekdays and 10 p.m. on weekends. Over the past few weeks, the Browntown and Hedgesville communities have seen 2 homicides, shootings, and other crimes. 6th District Democrat Kevin Kelly says he submitted a plan to Mayor Baker that offers solutions to the increase in crime. Part of that plan includes police enforcement of the underage curfew by sounding emergency sirens in area parks as a curfew alert.
To let individuals know it's time to get off the street. The other is some aggressive overtime to address loitering and drug activity on the streets. And mainly and most important of this plan is something for young people. We've got to have recreational opportunities for young people, and I've asked him to extend the park hours.
Sharon Wilson keeps close watch on her kids in the Hedgesville neighborhood, but says curfew enforcement is needed.
Because there's so much, the kids can do. Like, it's really no activity that the kids can do after, a certain time. They need, like, Boys and Girls Club and, more activity for the kids to do so they can stay off the street.
Kelly says Baker may not be able to implement the entire plan, but he has already met with the mayor concerning police overtime and the curfew. I'm Curtis Gray, 1150 a.m., WDEL.
State Representative Greg Lavelle says he's ready to close a loophole in legislation passed earlier this week. The North Wilmington Republican says once Senate Bill 29 is signed into law, Delaware's children won't enjoy equal protection from sexual predators. He says the state's sovereign immunity needs to be lifted for kids in public schools to enjoy the same privileges as others created by the Child Victims Act.
That will put the state of Delaware on the same playing field as they should be in terms of the care and protection of our children, and it will allow the institutions that these teachers and other people work for in the state of Delaware to be held accountable to make sure they're doing what they need to do when they need to do it for the protection of our children.
Similar legislation failed as an amendment to the Senate bill, but Lavelle says he wants to come back and address the issue.
We can come back and we'll write the action and make sure that all of Delaware's 125,000 school students and others who are in the care of the state receive the same protections under Senate Bill 29 that those who attend private, religious, and other youth organizations.
The legislation is scheduled to be heard in the House next Tuesday. Taking another step toward what they call good government, members of the State House vote to create an Inspector General for the state. WDEL legislative correspondent Carl Konevsky reports from Dover.
The Inspector General would be charged with investigating fraud, abuse, and corruption issues related to state employees. State Representative Bill Oberle, a Newark Republican who sponsored the legislation, says he doesn't agree with many critics who say the work would duplicate what's already done by the state auditor.
As I contemplate, the Inspector General would work in concert with the Ethics Committee, the state auditor if required, the Attorney General, to take a look at allegations, determine whether there's any validity to those allegations, do the due process necessary if they are valid, and then turn the issue over to the Attorney General for prosecution.
State Auditor Tom Wagner opposed the bill, saying his office already does most of what the Inspector General would be charged with, but even a new office wouldn't eliminate everyone's concerns.
Right now, there are not criminal penalties for a lot of the misdeeds that we would find, and I think that's the heart of probably what some people are legitimately upset about, which has nothing to do with the function of the Auditor's Office or, for that matter, an Inspector General.
The bill now moves to the state Senate. Reporting from Legislative Hall in Dover, I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 a.m., WDEL.
A facelift for the Claymont train station. WDEL News continues in a moment.
You could spend your money at the gas pump, or you could spend it on those sexy pumps at your favorite store. Let DART do the driving. Travel smart. Choose DART.
With the governor's signature, Delaware will have a new mechanism allowing people to lower their energy costs and protect the environment. The State House approved legislation creating the Delaware Sustainable Energy Utility, which will use competitive markets and provide funding to deliver cost-effective energy services. The utility will target users in all markets, including electricity, heating fuels, green buildings, and clean vehicles. Well, commuters may soon be riding with a bit more style at the Claymont train station. WDEL's John Collins takes a look.
Claymont thinks the Hamlet's hub is due for a makeover.
Some issues. If you ask your normal run-of-the-mill passenger, they're not happy with going through the tunnel and to get to the other side of the tracks. They don't like the way the parking's stretched out. They're not happy with the fact that it looks like it's a refugee from the 60s.
Officials are beginning to work out a major facelift for the aging station, including...
We're looking at new pedestrian crossings over I-495 and over the tracks themselves so people can get down to the Delaware River at the station. We're going to be looking at high-level platforms. Those are platforms that are raised up above the track level so a person can walk straight from the platform onto the train without going up steps. Those are very important for disabled access. And we're looking at waiting room ticket office, those sorts of things, so a person can wait indoors in a comfortable, pleasant place for the train.
Officials say it will be about 5 years before you will see the new digs, and they're looking for your feedback. The cost will be about $8 million, or roughly fair for about 1,280,000 trips from Claymont to the Philadelphia Art Museum. Reporting from Claymont, John Collins, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Imagine staring up the nostrils of a life-size Tyrannosaurus Rex. WDEL's Melanie Armstrong tells us it could happen to you.
You'll get to stare a dinosaur in the face later this summer when Walking with the Dinosaurs, the live experience, comes to the Wachovia Spectrum. It's a theater-like experience that's as close to real as you can get.
Is because they move absolutely naturally. Their muscles ripple, their skin perspires. I mean, as somebody observed to me, a young girl the other day, they even have snot. You know, they are just quite remarkable.
8-year-old Nathan Patak of Villanova watched a preview of the show. He didn't think the baby T-Rex was scary at all.
It was sort of funny.
That from the minute the first dinosaur arrived till the end of the show, the jaw dropped, the eyes got bigger, and they were awestruck rather than frightened.
The largest of the animatronic dinosaurs is 50 feet tall. The show runs August 16th through 19th. Melanie Armstrong, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Easter Seals honors a longtime board member by naming their building after him and his late wife. The organization's corporate circle location in the Newcastle Corporate Commons is now the Rita and James F. Kern Center, in recognition of the couple's more than 20 years of service to Easter Seals and those they served. Kearns was chairman of Easter Seals' first capital campaign in 1987 and chairs the current one. He also served as director of the organization as well as chairman of that board. Well, Delaware's high school football all-stars square off this weekend. WDEL Sports and your Delaware weekend AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Looking to gain an edge in the technology or design field? Wilmington College's Division of Information Technology and Advanced Communications offers state-of-the-art facilities equipped with the latest tools. Achieve balance, achieve success.
In WDEL Sports, after spending the last 12 games battling the American League, the Phillies return to National League play tonight in St. Louis. The Phils start the night 2 games behind the Mets in the NL East. Jamie Moyer takes the mound tonight for the Phils against Anthony Reyes, who's 0-8 on the season. You can hear the game on WDEL starting at 7:35. The Blue Rocks are off to a good start to their season's second half. WDEL's Sean Green has highlights from last night's game.
Judy Johnson Field at Brawley Stadium, the site for the first game of the second half between Frederick and Wilmington. Bottom of the first were scoreless when Wilbur Perez hits this bullet into the left center field gap. That drive in Mark Maddox with the double. It was 1-0 Wilmington. Bottom of the second, same score when Jersey boy Chris McConnell hits this bomb to left field into the visiting bullpen. His first home run with Wilmington gives the Rocks a 3-0 lead. Bottom of the third, Rocks looking for more with 2 outs. Cody Clark hits this shot into left center field, but center fielder Jonathan Tucker, the nice diving grab to end the inning and keep the lead at 3. Bottom of the fourth, though, now 4-0 when Mark Maddox slips this single in on the drawn-in infield. McConnell scores 5-0 Wilmington. They go on to the 8-1 win. Sean Green, 1150 AM, WDEL Sports.
The best graduating high school football players in the state meet tomorrow night in the 52nd annual Blue Gold All-Star Football Game at Delaware Stadium. The game, which benefits the Delaware Foundation reaching citizens with cognitive disabilities, kicks off at 7. But the activities start well before that, including the on-field celebration at 6. Your WDEL Delaware AccuWeather forecast, mostly sunny today, high 81. Clear and cool tonight, low 54. For the weekend, sunshine Saturday, high 80. And Sunday, plenty of sunshine, a little bit warmer, high of 87. I'm Chris Carl. Have a great weekend, and thanks for watching.